Hello and welcome to full live coverage of match day 3 in the Women's Nations League. Northern Ireland sitting second in their group behind the Republic of Ireland face a difficult away fixture against Hungary. Victory though could prove to be a catalyst for a potential playoff spot in this new look competition. The players making their way onto the pitch right now, led by captain Nadine Caldwell. Alongside me for this one is Ashley Hutton, and Ashley will speak about the teams in a moment, but how significant the game could this prove to be for Northern Ireland in terms of the campaign?
Yeah, it's a must-win game for Northern Ireland. Obviously, it's a double-header fixture that we return on Tuesday, so it's important that they get a good result away from home and then build on that for the Tuesday game.
How encouraged were you with the performance against Albania last month in particular?
Yeah, like obviously it was only a 1-0. Made it look probably not as what the players maybe thought it was going to be, but you know, they had great chances in the game, and probably if they were more clinical in the game, then it would have been 3-4-0 in the end. But obviously, we've got them away from home, and they can make a difference in that game.
How difficult is it to go to places like this?
Yeah, like travelling away from home. Seaview's a bit like our fortune in Northern Ireland. We went on quite a lot of games at that pitch, so obviously travelling and just obviously players have to adapt to that style. But yeah, it should be an interesting night of football.
A big game coming up. We will bring you full live coverage of this match. We will now pause though for the anthems.
Hölgyeim és uraim, kérem, hogy álljunk fel a két csapat nemzeti himnuszához. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthems of the teams.
Northern Ireland 5 places behind Hungary in the world ranking, so on paper very little between these two sides. Let's look at the home team's lineup. They have been hit with a couple of defensive withdrawals this week. Goalkeeper Sox though has over 100 caps, while Fenivesi, Cesar, Zabo and Zeller all have considerable international experience. Papai and Kaijan will provide the attacking threat. over 600 caps in that starting side. The quartet I mentioned providing the bulk of that. Northern Ireland, very much a new look side under Tanya Oxtoby, given her team selection, which we'll see in a moment. A few last minute words from the likes of Rachel Furness and Nadine Caldwell, today's captain. Match referee has the coin ready. The Hungarian skipper's also ready, just waiting on Nadine Caldwell to make her way across. The officials for this game are from Lithuania. Now for the formalities. Proud day for Nadine Caldwell, skippering the side with all of her experience as well. Cap number 77 for the Glentoran player. Now let's have a look at the visitors lineup. There's no Marissa Callahan, Simone McGill or Cara Hamilton in the starting 11. Caldwell captains the side. It includes 5 Irish League players. Late call-up Danielle Maxwell starts alongside fellow Cliftonville player Caitlin McGuinness. Ashley, what do you make of that team?
Yeah, it's great to see Danielle Maxwell get her chance. I thought she was unfortunate not to be part of the last Nations Games. So she's been playing well in the league. So I don't see why she can't go out here tonight and put in a great performance.
And what does it say about what she's shown in camp? The fact she was a late call-up and now she's managed to force her way into the team?
Well, it just shows that Tanya's sticking to her word. If players are training well, then she'll start the players. I think that was said in one of the recent interviews. So it just shows you that the girls have to maintain those standards throughout all the training sessions if they want to get selected.
You mentioned Seaview. Will the manager have had one eye on Tuesday night, picking a team for this one?
Yeah, definitely. You know, she maybe doesn't want to show her cards too soon away from home. She might obviously look at starting the likes of Cara and Simone McGill. I think Simone might be carrying a bit of an injury, but yeah, it's going to be a two-legged game.
We're not there, but I have to say, even judging by the Northern Ireland players' socks, the surface looks very, very heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be cleaning those socks. Don't know who the kit man is at the minute, but yeah, it's just, especially down this left-hand side for us, looks very, very mucky.
And given the attacking prowess in the lineup, just hold that thought for a moment as Lauren Wade plays it in towards the danger area, held on to by the experienced keeper. Socks, I mentioned a little bit earlier, over 100 caps, now plays in the top tier in her native country and has also played in the Champions League in the past. There is Margaret Kratz, the Hungarian manager, but a surface like that won't suit Northern Ireland given the style of play.
No, definitely not. You know, we're going to look at keeping the ball on the deck, trying to spray the passes around. Obviously, especially down this left-hand side, the link in between Demi and Lauren Wade. You know, that partnership and that friendship that they have. You know, they're going to want to link and play the ball on the ground. But obviously, with the pitch, hopefully we can still manage to do that.
Furness puts a degree of pressure on in the middle. It was actually a slip from Nemeth. Also very draining in the legs. A pitch like that. Not sure if there's been heavy rain in Győr earlier today, but it certainly would appear that the surface itself has been bearing the brunt of that. First attack though from the home side. Plenty of firepower in their lineup. Recycled by Zabo, and it's a first effort on goal, parried. And a good block from McKenna. It was a difficult one to deal with for Sharon Turner. Initially, the shot from just outside the box. I think it was Kaijan, the Fiorentina player, with the effort. Batted away.
Yeah, I think you'd like to see Sharon Turner hold on to that potentially, but it's good to get it away, and obviously we need to defend this corner.
Yes, it was a case of who would react first in that situation. Rebecca McKenna doing just enough. Here's the resulting corner kick. Not dealt with, ball bouncing about. Final touch was off a Hungarian player. That's a nervy enough start at the back.
Yeah, we obviously would have wanted to settle into the game, but obviously they've created their first chance. Now we're lucky to come away with that without conceding a goal, but we just need to calm ourselves, settle ourselves. We need the senior players to relax the team down.
And perhaps is it also maybe a reflection of the conditions there, that it might be a long range shot and putting pressure on the goalkeeper early on to try and find a breakthrough for either side, because it's very difficult on a wet day like that for the likes of Shannon Turner to hold on to it.
Yeah, obviously, you know, you want to force those mistakes, and any sort of slippy ball that come through, you want to make sure that you deal with that, and sometimes it's safer to just put it out rather than trying to catch and fall into one of the Hungarian players.
Sarah McFadden, who joined that exclusive 100 club at Seaview last month. Ashley and Julie Nelson already in it, of course.
Yeah, it's great to see Sarah come in. You know, she's one of the stalwarts. I think I describe her as fine wine. She just keeps getting better and better. You know, she's one of the player of the matches in nearly every single game, and she's still going strong. Phenomenal player and person.
Seems to be thriving in that professional environment. She's now in at Durham. Across to the far side.
Yeah, I think her teammates, even from Durham, you know, they hold her with high standards, and you know, she's just any team that has Sarah McFadden in it is just a special team.
Here's Jolie Andrews. Can't quite get there. And in many ways, I know this is a strange thing to say, but the Euros give her that extra bit of confidence, the way she acquitted herself against some of the top players in the world, and received such praise in a situation like that as Caldwell comes on to it.
Yeah, like, you know, every single game she just put in back-to-back performance against top players in the world, and you know, it didn't surprise me that maybe actually some of the teams in England, like of Manchester United or anyone like that, didn't try to sign her. You know, she just is an absolute stalwart. You know, top professional in the game.
Yes, had that memorable 100th game last month. Lauren Wade scored the winner in that encounter against Albania. It was her 50th cap, but McFadden was also unlucky with a header in the second half. It looked in, but it was a brilliant save from the Albanian goalkeeper, deny her a fairy tale on Captain 100. Instead, it was the player in shot right now, Lauren Wade, who grabbed the goal, and a lovely momentum for her after half a century. Really good build-up play. Northern Ireland have been under pressure early on, not dealt with initially, and it took a touch from Rebecca Holloway, and certainly Kaijan, the number 7 on this right-hand side, seems to be causing lots of problems. It was Zeller who had the effort and goal, but twice in the opening 5 minutes, the visitors have been right up against it. Look at Shannon Turner's jersey already covered with mud. That says a lot about the pitch in Győr. Plenty of height in that Hungarian unit as it is played in again towards the near post. It's a poor delivery though. And fair to say that Northern Ireland haven't really settled at any point.
No, they haven't really strung too many passes together. We'd like to see them, you know, start to build the ball up from the back into the midfield and try and get it into the forwards earlier than what they've done. But yeah, so far it's been very scrappy at the back.
Nadine Caldwell wearing the skipper's armband. Of course, Sarah McFadden had it in the 100th camp last month. Marissa Callahan, the player who normally sports it if she's on the pitch. Another attack from the Hungarians again down this right-hand side. Another corner kick. I think it's a third already in this game. Rebecca Holloway again denying Zeller.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Northern Ireland worked on defensive corners. You know, obviously they conceded against the Republic of Ireland, so I think it's one of the areas that hopefully Tanya's looked at, and hopefully we cannot concede any goals from corners or set pieces.
You can see all the cluster of players in and around the penalty spot is cleared again by Holloway. Plenty still up though for the home side. It's Jolie Andrews back helping out. Played across, well read though by Maxwell. No real support either side. Holds the ball up really well though and plays it back to Vance. It's a little bit over eager by Demi Vance to try and move it forward quickly. Very unlike her. A little glimpse of the qualities of Danielle Maxwell.
Yeah, obviously you're used to seeing her out wide, but she's playing more centrally, and you know she's a top player. She's played fantastically throughout the whole women's NIFL league, and you know it's great to see that she's got the opportunity. I just hope that she takes it all, and you know if she delivers, you know there's no reason why she can't be starting in the next game.
Wade wants a little bit of movement. I mentioned before the game, what, almost half the team playing locally. On one hand, that's a very good thing because it shows the strength of the league, and on the other hand, it shows that those players aren't professional and they're going to be right up against it at this level.
Yeah, I think what helps us in this is that the girls from home have obviously just finished their league, so they should be fit and they should be taking over. I think probably the next games is when it's going to count, because they won't have those games, that match practice, throughout the next couple of weeks. So it's important that the girls work hard at home. I don't know what the IFA and Tanya have in place at the minute, whether or not they're going to train at home or what the schedule is, but you know it's important that they maintain those levels. Otherwise, you know, it makes it difficult to compete at these levels, because international football you get found out.
Good link-up play between two of the young players, Maxwell and Julie Andrews, on this right-hand side, but it's won back by Hungary. A couple of glimpses of Maxwell. You can understand why she's caught the eye over the past week and is forced her way into that starting lineup.
Yeah, she's an exciting player. She likes to get at people. You know, she wants to run at players, and no defenders really want players running at you. So I think if she can use her strengths, which she's good at, and you know, she can really create things in this game.
It's a lovely bit of skill. And it could well be. Is it going to be a booking? No, it's going to be a talking to for Julie Andrews. Really well done by Cesar. Inter Milan player back in the starting lineup, missed the game against the Republic of Ireland. A robust challenge there from Julie Andrews. Cesar has 111 caps and 16 goals. Certainly knows her way around the international pitch. Julie Andrews playing a little bit deeper under Tanya Oxby the last couple of games than we're used to seeing her. We had now at Reading in England. Just over 10 minutes played. Spread towards this near side. And Vida, another player who missed out in the Republic of Ireland game, having started the opener against Albania. That was a 1-1 draw in that encounter. Two games in Hungary are actually bottom of the group, but that's because of the goal difference and the deficit against the Republic of Ireland in their second game. They were beaten 4-0 in that match last month. Northern Ireland with 3 points from their two games. The Republic of Ireland sitting top, 6 points from 6, two dominant displays. They're in action against Albania right now. Work back towards Nemeth. Skids off the head of Rebecca McKenna, I think, and it's McFadden who then tries to clip it towards this far side. There are implications in regard to where you finish in the group, potential promotion relegation, of course. Northern Ireland currently in Group B1. In the second tier of the Nations League, as Hungary work it forward. Shot was straight at the goalkeeper though. Zeller, who's looked very bright in the early stages. Turner though holding on to it. And particularly in that final third, Hungary certainly looked like they've got quality actually.
Yeah, like Zeller's obviously giving us problems at the minute. It's important that someone gets tight to her and tries to nullify the threat. And you know, we have to collectively as a team make sure that we don't maybe get the ball into her feet. So the midfield, they maybe need a screen to stop those balls going in.
Holloway can't quite get there. Zeller again. as you say, just dropping off a little bit, finding little pockets of space.
Yeah, she's obviously looking to fill into those gaps, and you know it's important that we stay switched on as a team and we don't let her get into those spaces because she's just causing us problems.
Rebecca McKenna takes a little bit of a risk, and it's an early effort gathered at the second attempt by Turner. Looked to be on target from Popeye, someone who scored goals consistently at underage level. 20 now, 5 goals in her 25 senior caps. Plays with Grasshopper Zurich in Switzerland. And probably that's the best angle to see the pitch there, just over the shoulder of Jolie Andrews.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, to be honest. Like you say, it's not going to suit Northern Ireland style of play. They're going to want to keep it, and you know.
It looks almost as if the training has been taking part in that part of the pitch, and the rest of it looks okay over in the far side. But it's as you identified very early on, just this area of the pitch that the ball's in right now looks so heavy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's where the warm-up took place or what, but yeah, this left-hand side it's going to be difficult to play anything in this.
Ball takes a touch off the Hungarian defender and goes out. It's Fenish Vesci. Made her debut a decade ago, camp number 91. She's based domestically with Ferencváros. Good challenge on Andrews, according to the referee, who was well positioned. Numbers flooding back from Northern Ireland, though, making sure they're not hit on the counter attack. The captain, Cesar, wanted it inside. Now it's switched across to Kovac. Played as a left back against the Republic of Ireland. Cut out by Holloway. Hungary have tested Turner on 2 or 3 occasions so far. McKenna just about gets a toe to it, then Holloway attempts to guide it out of play. Eventually the whistle sounds and the ball did cross the end line. In the team graphic we saw earlier on, it appeared as if the Northern Ireland were potentially playing 3 at the back. And it was difficult to see on match pictures. We were sitting back in Belfast here and watching the TV screen, but do you get the impression that they have gone for the 3, or is it a more conventional 4-4-2 or 4-4-3-3?
Yeah, at the minute it does look like they went with the 3, potentially with Demi sitting a wee bit deeper, creating that 4, but you'd like to see Demi get up further up the pitch and stretch the Hungarian team. But obviously, yeah, you're looking at Holloway, Mack and Rebecca McKenna in there, all working hard together. And
is that perhaps why Zeller's having so much time and space? Because in a 3, nobody quite knows whose responsibility is to pick her up, or is that, if you're in the position like you have been presumably plenty of times in the past, are you looking for the midfielder to drop and do that?
Yeah, well, it's two people's jobs. You know, the defence have to communicate to the midfield in those situations. But if that communication's late, then she's going to get those spaces. It's important then that midfielders are, you know, checking their shoulders, looking to see where she is. But it comes from senior players talking, communicating that, and making sure that she's not tripping, dropping into those spaces. And
you can actually see, just in a situation like that, it's Rachel Furness who's taking that responsibility there, trying to make sure that she is tracking Zeller, cut out by McKenna this time. Caitlin McGuinness, look how deep she's having to come to get onto the ball. It's been a long first quarter of an hour for the visitors. They've been very much up against it. They've weathered a little bit of a storm.
Yeah, it's hard to even tell whether or not there's a wind down there. I wonder whether or not that's influencing the game if Hungary have the win, but yeah, the conditions aren't sitting Northern Ireland at this minute.
Lifted in, and it's drifted over, Turner and in. It was an attempted cross in towards Zeller, but it's provided the opener. Popeye with her 6th international goal. It has been coming. Hungary have got in good positions and in difficult conditions. Turner was looking to try and scurry across, but couldn't quite get there. drifted over her head, and Hungary take the lead. Szabo, he lifts it in, and it was actually Szabo with the goal rather than Papai, who was initially shown. So her first goal of the group.
It's a disappointing start. Obviously not what we want. 1-0 down, 18 minutes into the game. You could see that Rebecca McKenna was trying to guide her player down the line, but from full-back areas, you need to get close, stop the ball coming in. I don't believe it was a shot. I feel like it was more of a cross, but, you know, it's disappointing.
And you mentioned it just before the goal. It was hard to tell whether there were windy conditions. It would appear from that situation that the elements are playing a big part in this game, because if you look at the positioning of Shannon Turner, for it to drift over her head at that kind of pace, and from the angle that we saw, it looked as if the wind did play a considerable part.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, but both teams are dealing with those conditions. It's important that Northern Ireland just keep it tight for the next 5 minutes, come together as a group, and, you know, try and get it up the other end, make sure that we create our own chances.
And is that, I know it's a very simple pass there, but is that a case of Sarah McFadden and Rebecca Holloway saying, right, let's just hold on to the ball here. Let's just keep a hold of the ball. We've had very little of it in the early stages. Let's just kind of try and ruin any momentum that Hungary have here.
Yeah, you know, it's professionalism. You know, senior players are looking to keep hold of that ball. Obviously, holding the ball, trying to get comfortable on the ball, try and get used to the pitch, and just build that confidence. But yeah, that's just gives the forwards a wee bit of time to recover and see where the spaces are for Northern Ireland to build up our attacks.
I know it's not necessarily going to hurt Hungary, but it just is almost a message to the rest of the players just to calm down. And
yeah,
it's only 1-0. Northern Ireland with a throw in this near side through Demi Vance. Here is Andrews, who wasn't able to hold on to it. So the next few days could have a huge impact on this group overall. It's Tanya Oxtoby's third game in charge, 1 win and 1 draw during the previous 2. You must be very envious, you know, when for many years you were starved of competitive matches. When you look at this schedule, 6 games in such quick succession, and then a potential playoff afterwards. It's really what is seen as the benefit of the Women's Nations League and New Look tournament, to try and get meaningful games for teams.
Yeah, definitely. You know, for years we didn't give as many matches in maybe 2 years as what they're getting in the next three months or so. So, you know, it's exciting to see that they're getting, for the young players, you know, they're going to get opportunities. You can see tonight that Tanya's obviously bled a few more young ones in. You know, Caitlin McGuinness is starting, Tanya Maxwell starting, Jolie Andrews is back starting. You know, it's important that we use these games and get those young players that experience. But yeah, you know, there's players closer to getting the 100 caps, a bit like Rachel Furness. So, you know, the more games she's playing, you know.
Are you happy that club gets bigger and bigger?
Oh, definitely, yeah. You know, Julie Nelson, obviously the first one to do it, then myself, and then Sarah McFadden. You know, there's a bit of a core group of us that have played for the last sort of 18 odd years, and, you know, it's great to see so many players within that core group get to the 100 caps. So the more the merrier, as I say.
Did you make your debut the same day as Rachel Furness? Was it back in 2005 against Sweden? I think it's a couple of players started around that time.
Yes, we all started, and then we went to Portugal for the Algarve Cup, all under Alfie Wiley. So yeah, it's nice that we all kind of stuck together, and, you know, we brought Northern Ireland to where they are now.
Rachel Furness now 5 away from her 100. Marissa Callahan not far away. Nadine Caldwell, another player who is edging towards that. Demi Vance is 1 more, but right now Northern Ireland with some defending to do midway through this first half. Fired goalwards, not dealt with. Could easily be 2, but it was a vital block. Danger still not away, and it ricochets towards the edge of the box.
Yeah, I think it was Holloway that finally got that block. Last ditch defending, but it's great to see that she's thrown her body in front of it. Yeah,
it was Holloway involved there, and it's actually Danielle Maxwell back defending. Holloway with the block not once but twice. There's a last-ditch element to it. I mentioned those competitive games. Northern Ireland have won just 5 of their last 15 matches. Now, you have to take into account that included the Euros as well.
Yeah, I think it's important that we start to build momentum again. Obviously, under Kenny Shields, we were beat by Norway at the very beginning. I think it was 6-0. But I think
it's off the upright and into the hands of Turner. What a let off. The visitors living very, very dangerously now. It was Kaijan that time. Struck it really well. And it bounces safely into the hands of Turner, who gladly grabbed it. But it just seems that every single attack, Hungary are looking like they're going to score.
Yeah, they seem to be creating a lot of space down their left-hand side, down our right-hand side for defence. It's whether or not Rebecca McKenna needs someone closer to her to help her, or even the likes of the Lauren Wade who's playing in front of her. Maybe she can come back and help her out for the next 5 minutes just to re-steady the ship.
And is that a case of what you're looking to do right now, just steady the ship? Because it has pretty much been one-way traffic when you analyse the first half overall.
Yeah, like, it's about riding the storm. Obviously, Tanya's bringing the players in. I think that's important. We need to get the grips of this game and work out and solve the problems in relation to it to stop them getting these opportunities.
Sean Turner down, looking to receive a little bit of attention.
This is something that we've seen in the Republic of Ireland game too, where Sean Turner went down. You know, maybe it is a tactic of Tanya's. She realises the team.
I think we saw it in the Albanian game as well. It's becoming, and it certainly seems to happen around the 22nd to 25th minute, around that kind of junction. But
yeah, definitely. You know, it's obviously a tactic of hers. She needs a regroup. She maybe sees that the players need a little bit of instructions from herself or from the coaching team. But it's also important because you can see from previous years we've maybe went 2 or 3-0 down in little spells like this. So it's important that we regroup as a group.
Mentioned a third game of charge for Tanya Oxtoby. Very hands-on in terms of her coaching, and hasn't had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with the players. Those 2 quick-fire matches last month, and then obviously this week before the journey across to Hungary.
Yeah, I think she held individual meetings to try and get to know the players. It's obviously a difficult position for her to be in. A new squad, completely new players. Maybe there's only a few of them that are playing in England. So, you know, it's obviously a challenge for her to get to know her team quickly. And if she doesn't get to know them quickly, you know, it could cause problems.
Have you met her?
No, actually I haven't met her yet. But I've heard a lot of the girls speak highly of her. She's really into the analyst side of things, and obviously the female side of things, and that more caring sort of background. And obviously with Chelsea as well, you know, that's something that, you know, holds her stead. She's come from Emma Hayes. She's been mentored under her, and I think the girls are hoping that she brings a lot of that knowledge and experience and understanding with her.
She's won absolutely everything in the English game with Emma Hayes and Chelsea. Right now, her side are up against it in Gior. Ball bouncing about in the edge of the area. It's another pot shot. Certainly the Hungarians haven't been afraid to have a go from distance at any point.
Yeah, they're very, very good in around the final third, especially in centrally. They seem to know where each other are going to be. A little set off for the shot has happened quite a few times.
There's Nadine Caldwell.
It's great to see Nadine get the captain's armband tonight. She's a great person, and you know, she leads by example on the pitch. She's one of those players that sometimes goes unnoticed, but she's always doing the dirty work in the background, grafting, and then giving the ball to her other teammates. So it's great to see that she's been given that opportunity.
And interesting, because you would have thought on paper it would have been Sarah McFadden who has deputised a number of occasions as another shot comes in.
Yeah, obviously, probably myself would have thought with Marissa Callaghan not being there tonight, Sarah McFadden would have been the go-to, but obviously Tanya wants to have a look at other players and see what leadership they can bring. That's important. Like Sarah McFadden, she's always going to lead no matter what. but other players need to bring out those characteristics on the pitch, and you know, it does Nadine no harm to be given that armband to see what she can do.
And I think Cara Hamilton was talking in her interview. She's taken over the captaincy at Lewis. The idea that there's a leadership group now. It's not just one focal point. That there maybe are 4 or 5 players capable. And it doesn't really matter who has the armband on. That in the squad you use all that experience. We mentioned some of the players edging towards 100 caps, and I'm sure there were plenty of times, for example, that you might not have had an armband, but you were looked upon as a leader.
Yeah, like the armband doesn't really mean anything. Obviously, it's a proud moment to be the captain of the team, but you know, there's top quality leaders in that team. You know, you've got Sarah McFadden, Rachel Furness that never stops talking. I've heard her plenty in this game, and like the likes of Nadine and Demi Vance, they're all leaders, and it's great to see Cara Hamilton obviously get that armband in Lewis. You know, it's an opportunity for her. It's probably very early in her career at Lewis, but you know, the coaches and the management have obviously seen those qualities within her, and she's a great player and great person, and her leadership is great. She never stops talking as well.
Rebecca Holloway has got in the way of just about everything so far this evening. That was another crucial block from her, player based of course in the United States.
Yeah, I think Rebecca Holloway started really strong. She's been one of the top players so far. She's obviously getting those blocks in, and you know, she's stopping the chances for Shannon.
Good, and again.
It's worked out nicely for Zella. And this attempt from Kai Jan was, you could see what she was trying to do, trying to place it. I think she felt that there was a corner kick and took a deflection. It wasn't given in the end, but I suppose it was one of the quandaries that Kenny Shields had at times, in terms of how do you find a place for both Rebecca Holloway and Demi Vance in the same team, and both on the left hand side. You know, is it a case of the two of them have to play? You just have to kind of figure that out, whether it's one as a centre half, one as a left back, or one as a wing back, whatever you want to call it, because they're two players of undoubted quality.
Yeah, they're top players. You know, it's just about getting that balance, and you just kind of hope that the two of them gel. And at the minute, I feel like they still haven't got that balance between the two of them. But
who goes and who stays?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but you know, I think it's going to take time, and it's communication and understanding. But you know, I think probably the way it is at the minute, with Demi Vance playing on the wing back, is probably the stronger of the option. I think in the 1v1 situations and defensively, Rebecca Holloway is better in that central role.
It was well won back by McGuinness, and Julie Anders is onside there. She's onside by a country mile.
Yeah, that's a poor decision there by the lino. I'm not sure what she was looking at.
Now, in the end, it didn't appear as if she was going to get to the pass, but certainly there's no way she was offside. Don't need VAR for that. Lovely turn by Zeller. Overloading the far side, it's Szabo who scored the Hungarian goal from an attempted cross after just a little bit more than a quarter of an hour. Good turn from Maxwell. Throw in for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland did have that really good win away in Cheshire in July. That was when Gail Redmond was in charge. Obviously, Andy Waterworth took charge for a couple of friendlies before that, one against Wales. Northern Ireland finished third in their World Cup qualifying group, behind both Austria and England, two sides who qualified for the Euros. Did have away wins in that group against Luxembourg, Latvia and North Macedonia, so they have shown good performances away from home in the last couple of years, Northern Ireland, but they find themselves one down here. The Republic of Ireland defeat was Hungary's first in their last 6 games. They've had a good run of form after a decent World Cup qualifying group. A couple of wins against the Faroes. They did lose twice to Scotland, but that was narrowly. But they've had it all their own way this evening, and it's a front three that's caused all the problem. Kaijan goes herself, tries to outwit Turner at the near post, and again wasn't able to hold on to it, so it's going to be another corner kick. And that front three causing all kinds of problems, actually.
Yeah, they're just getting so much space in behind. I feel like the midfield maybe just haven't got that ticking. They're just not gelling at the minute. I think they need to maybe look at the change of formation. Potentially look at pulling someone else back into that midfield and just having someone sit just in front of the centre halves.
More defending to do. Again, it's towards the near post. Vance got her body in the way. Another chance so on the far side for Zeller. Might be tempted to have a go. And this time, Turner holds on to it. Very quick to get it away, though, with a furnace. Other bodies further up their pitch there are. And Lauren Waite. McGuinness. Hungary slow to get back. That's well worked up the pitch. Vance finds Caldwell. Wade. Haven't really been able to see her in the final third. And
yeah, it's good to see Lauren get more involved in the game. Hasn't really come down this side, whether or not it's the pitch conditions, but you know, it's good link-up play there from Demi Vance into Nadine. And then you could just hear Nadine in the background shouting to Lauren, get at her, get at her. She wants her to use her pace, which she's pace to burn. So I'd like to see Lauren just get at the player a wee bit more there.
I suppose at times Lauren Wade's maybe been, it's been a case of if it's not working on the left, she's equally capable of going across to the right and proving to be a real handful that side as well. Good footwork from Furness. Here is a chance for Wade on the left. Passes again overhead. And that's happened on a few occasions. And I do wonder, you know, without maybe being, maybe overstating it too much, how big an impact the pitch is having there, because it's 3 or 4 reasonably straightforward passes that have gone awry in that same area of the pitch.
Yeah, the final ball just on this left-hand side. Yeah, you could say it's the pitch. Don't want to use that as an excuse. But, you know, it's important that maybe we start to look to play the ball to feet if it is going to be overrun.
Ball bobbling about in the surface. In the final 10 minutes of this first half, the Republic of Ireland have just kicked off in their group game against Albania. If they can make 3 wins from 3, that would certainly put them in pole position. Some big games coming up for Northern Ireland. Welcoming the Republic of Ireland on the 5th of December. It could be a case of a group decider there. That will all be decided over the course of the next couple of days. The top side in the group automatically goes up. The second place goes into a playoff in the new year. Third goes into a relegation playoff in the new year. And fourth in the group is relegated into Tier C. Vance. Just over the head of Julie Andrews. Holloway under pressure, good turn. Managed to squirm away from a couple of players, but then was outnumbered, and that is going to be the first booking of the game for Rebecca Holloway. It was a lunging challenge, a challenge she probably felt she had to make, having lost control of the ball, and she is the first player to go in to the referee's book. Once you go to ground like that, can't really argue your case too much.
Yeah, she actually looked like she was trying to pull out, but it was her knee that actually caught the player in the end. But yeah, you run the risk of getting a yellow card once you go to ground.
Plenty back for Northern Ireland, and that's good pressure. Well won back by Maxwell. Temporarily it's 4 against 4, but again it's that pass that just doesn't go to feet, and countless occasions when that's happened so far. Just hasn't clicked, but
yeah,
that was a golden opportunity when you look at the overload.
Yeah, you look at the overload. It was the right idea to come over to Jolie. She also had Caitlin McGuinness, her teammate at Cliftonville, as an option too. Sometimes you maybe want to play that forward pass more and see Caitlin McGuinness use her pace, which is one of her strengths. We just haven't really seen much of Caitlin in this game so far.
You mentioned the change of shape. How difficult is that to do in a situation like this when momentum isn't on your side?
Yeah, like, you know, change of shape, but they've worked hard probably over the last couple of days. but you have to be adaptable, and you know, as experienced players, they need to learn, be able to change from one shape to the other and do that quickly. You know, games can't be regiment. You know, you have to be adaptable.
Plenty of quality on the bench for Northern Ireland as well. Should Tanya Oxley decide to mix things up? I mentioned some of the players not involved, the likes of Simone McGill, Cara Hamilton, Marissa Callahan, Megan Bell, another player who started the last match. Kirsty McGuinness isn't involved in the squad, having pulled out earlier this week.
Yeah, like obviously we have that experience on the bench, and Tanya is likely to use it. You know, she's not shy making substitutions, and that might be looked at half time. But you know, if we can go in and hold it in 1-0 and rejig things, I can't see why we can't come out in the second half and take it to the Hungarians.
A real chance to regroup at half time potentially. Northern Ireland, I don't think I've had a shot on goal so far. Caldwell, surrounded by two players in red, had absolutely nowhere to go, but wins it back and finds McGuinness. She felt she was caught, referee agrees. And Furness thought about taking the free kick quickly, but I suppose when you've got the likes of Furness and McFadden, this could prove to be a really good opportunity. And delivery of Demi Vance. It's been a real feature of Northern Ireland in the last couple of years, particularly under Kenny Shields, that they made the most of set pieces. Can they put socks in the Hungarian goal under pressure?
Yeah, Demi's a specialist at free kicks and corners, always danger.
Andrews has made a little run instead. It's towards Furness, so good in the air. Follow up from Maxwell. Recycled by Andrews to Vance. So many still in there. One of them is Sarah McFadden. Very patient from Vance, and then tries to squeeze it across to Caldwell. Just didn't have enough on it.
Yeah, just unfortunate at the very end there from Demi. She'd been in form for her club in the last couple of games. So it'd be good to get to see her get forward more. I think she scored a couple of goals in the last couple of matches in the league, so you know, it's good to see if we can get Demi more into the game.
Possesses real quality in that left foot.
Yeah, you could say it's a bit of a wand, couldn't you?
Yeah, 87th cap, 4 goals. A couple of screamers in there too. Remember the one against Austria in particular stands out. Free kick from long distance.
Yeah, it near took the roof off, didn't it?
It was quick fire goals. I think Lauren Wade scored the first, and then Demi Vance followed it up. It was 2-1 for a long part of that game. It would have been a famous victory if Northern Ireland had been able to see that one out, and they've suddenly found a little bit of momentum. That's a great ball in, just too far ahead of McGuinness, but really encouraging the last couple of minutes, the way that the visitors have started to thread a few passes together and find the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, down this left-hand side, we've started to find that space. Obviously, only Caitlin McGuinness in the box. You'd like to see more players getting forward with her and joining in the attack, but it's positive play from Northern Ireland. And
it's exactly what you suggested, the likes of Demi Vance further up the pitch, for example, maybe take a little bit more of a risk. Caldwell's having an increased influence. Lovely touch from her there. Tries to find McGuinness again. It's cut out by the defender, Namath. Just had to be a little bit worried in the counter-attack, but now suddenly it's the likes of McKenna pushing up as well. Jolie Andrews wants it inside.
Yeah, we haven't even seen Rebecca McKenna get forward. That's one of her strengths, especially in the Republic game. When she came on, you know, it's important that we do get our own team up as the defence. We get forward and we move up the pitch and create our own chances.
And here she is right now. Good footwork from her. Ball towards the middle over the head of Wade, and it's so much more positive in the last couple of minutes. Keeping the pressure on the home side as half-time approaches.
Yeah, it's good to see them go in, hopefully, into the second half here. Look more positive of the team, get at Hungary.
Campbell's penalised.
I think even here, Rachel Furness, don't let them out. I think we want to try and keep them in here, pin them in.
What's changed in the last couple of minutes? Because it's been very obvious on the pitch the impact that it's starting to have, and passes are starting to go to feet, and and the little things you work on in training, the little triangles starting to come off?
Yeah, I just think players are starting to relax, and the likes of Demi taking that extra touch, you know, that bit of composure is what you need. The likes of Rachel Furness, the back three have started to step up higher as well, which has allowed the whole team to move up. And kind of nullified Hungary playing any football, which you can definitely see with the last 5 minutes they've become more comfortable into the game.
Roy Carroll there on the bench with the iPad in front of him. It's Danielle McDowell and alongside Tanya Oxtoby.
Yeah, it's great to see that Tanya's using someone local from the game. I think Danielle's on her pro license, and you know it's important that we blood in some of our own people from Northern Ireland and you know give them those opportunities.
Ball in the box. Northern Ireland would hate to concede at this stage of the game, and it was a curling effort from Zeller, one of the standout players of the first half, that just goes the wrong end of the post from a Hungarian perspective. Again, it's that little pocket of space not picked up, and
yeah, it's Zeller's always finding the space at the edge of the box. It's difficult. The defence are obviously dropping deep, but then as soon as they win the first ball, it's the second ball that we're not winning, or we don't have a player in that space to stop the shot. It's obviously something that Tanya's going to have to address.
Vance. Can the visitors find an equaliser before the break? It would be a huge goal and completely change the complexion of this game. Perhaps even the complexion of the group. Back-to-back games against Hungary, of course, for Northern Ireland. Tuesday's game from Seaview will be live on the BBC iPlayer and also the BBC Sport Northern Ireland website. The ground has been a fortress in the past. Massive victories, of course. It was where Northern Ireland qualified for the Euros. The draw against Austria mentioned earlier. Victories against the likes of Belarus, of course, as well. Started their Nations League campaign with a victory over, the home part of their Nations League campaign with a victory over Albania last month. Messing about from Rachel Furness. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Nothing wrong with that, bit of physicality. Let the Hungarians know that Northern Ireland are there and they're going to put pressure on them. Don't want them to be settled on the ball.
Plenty to consider for Tanya Oxtoby. Two minutes of additional time being played at the end of this first half. Northern Ireland just have to be careful that they don't concede now. There is going to be time for this throw-in to take place. No real urgency from the home side at this point. They have a 1-0 advantage thanks to Szabó's goal. It's going to be a goal kick, and I suspect, well, sorry, there's a little bit more time in this first half. Hungary took the lead 18 minutes in. Shannon Turner has certainly been the busier of the two goalkeepers, as you can see from her kit. In difficult conditions. McFadden under a fair degree of pressure from Kai Jan.
Yeah, she read that really well. Nullified their attack. Just need to hold out for these last 30-odd seconds and get into the change room and regroup.
Just the one down at stages in the first half. It looked like it could have been a lot worse than that. As the half-time whistle sounds, Northern Ireland behind at the break. Szabó with the only goal. Sox has had very little to do in the Hungarian goal. Northern Ireland find themselves behind at the break. Hungary 1, Northern Ireland 0. And we now turn our focus to the domestic game as we look back at some of the best bits from the first half. That is certainly the best bit from Hungary's point of view. Rebecca McKenna putting real pressure on in the right back position, could do very little about the cross coming in, and it was certainly an attempt at cross. Turner, though, unfortunate to see the ball drift over her head and into the goal. But as we await the second half in Győr, beautiful autumn's evening there, we will reflect on what has been a brilliant campaign for Glentoran domestically, having clinched the league last weekend. They added the Women's Challenge Cup, taking on their bitter rivals Cliftonville on the decider. On commentary is Oisin Langan.
Tony Lee Finnegan spraying it out. Maxwell for Callahan. Callahan has a look to see if there was anyone in the box. She just held it up because there wasn't. Kirsty McGuinness back towards Callahan. Callahan across. It's in. McGuinness touches it home and gives Cliftonville the lead. But is the flag up? It is. Well, that is worth another look. It was a good move. It was a good finish, but it won't count.
Yeah, fantastic play here. Lovely weighted ball by McGuinness, and very unselfishly for Callahan to square it, but I think she might have just drifted into an offside position. Might not see it very well in this angle.
Well, controversy in the cup final. We'll get another look at that at half-time. Wilson doesn't reach its intended target. It was cut out by McGee. Here comes Callahan, who did so well in the build-up. Kirsty McGuinness is the target. It bounces kindly for McGuinness. McGuinness misses the target. She's unlucky. She did everything right except the finish.
That's very, very uncharacteristic of Kirsty McGuinness not to get that one on target, and Ashley McKinnon was scrambling there, caught in no man's land.
It was a great ball. She ran onto it, and the goalkeeper made herself big, but McGuinness will still be disappointed. So the McGuinness sisters both denied. What have they got up their sleeves? Vance is with Andrews. Andrews is giving some kind of signal. Whether or not that actually means anything, I'm not sure. Vance was giving a signal as well. Norney comes out to meet it. She hasn't. Can they bundle it home? No, they can't. But it is another corner. Caldwell is not happy, but that's the best chance for Glentoran so far. Let's have a look. Caldwell into the ground, and then she got a second bite at it, but McDaniel was in the way.
You have to say it's all about the delivery, and the delivery was absolutely fantastic, and how Louise McDaniel kept that out. Oh.
Wilson against Doherty. Outside it goes to McCarran. Caldwell's in the centre. McCarran back to her fullback instead. That's Timoney. McMaster. Vance has Caldwell with her. Caldwell outside. Two in the box, including Beattie and Andrews. Andrews tries to get there. It falls for Beattie. Beattie! She has buried it! Glentoran with the first chance of the second half. Glentoran with the first goal of the second half, and no surprise that it comes from the boot of Kerry Beattie.
Yeah, you have to say, it's got very light here, but Beattie does a great job of just coming off to pick up the second ball. It was almost like, no, I'll not go for this one, I'll peel off and get the second, and it fell for her lovely. But what about that finish? Top bins. We barely mentioned her name in the first half. In the second half, she just finds herself in the right place, and what quality she has just to finish that in the top corner.
35 goals becomes 36 goals for the season. Beattie with an unbelievable finish on the biggest stage. To keep your composure like that, knowing what's on the line, that's impressive. Wins possession back, goes long down the line. Now, how do Cliftonville respond to that?
Yes, Cliftonville are going to want...
Oh, Maxwell, she's trying to respond immediately. That's great play from Maxwell. Kirsty McGuinness is free on the left-hand side, rolls it down the line, looking for Caitlin McGuinness. He does get there, and McKinnon smothers it. She does very well, the goalkeeper.
She really does. She came out and she backed herself. And you can see the great run and the slip ball. And great job from McKinnon to come out and make herself big in that angle.
Brave goalkeeping, good goalkeeping. Vance adds to it. It's out for a throw-in.
Trying to make sure she manages the game.
It's a decent looking cross. And the header, oh, it's gone in, or has it? Yes, it has. The header from McMaster somehow finds its way into the back of the net. And it's looking very, very good for Glentoran, who are looking to complete the 5 in a row. McMaster makes it 2-0.
She's no stranger to scoring in cup finals too. She scored in 2020 against Linfield. But you have to praise Demi Vance for the delivery again. When you have someone with that quality to put it right in the danger area, McMaster just gets up. It's a bit of a scramble.
Oh, it came off McDaniel, who was unlucky, and trying to keep it out as well was Carlton. Got something on it, but frustratingly for her, couldn't keep it out. I think it might have gone in by that stage anyway. McMaster doesn't care. She's capable of good deliveries. Doherty spinning it down towards that box, and it's cut out, and it'll fall for Andrews. Clifton will get it back. Doherty pumps it back in. Well, cushions it back in. Up in the air it goes from McMaster. And still battling inside is Callahan. Callahan gets the shot away. Good save. It would have taken something special from that kind of angle, but she actually did well to turn and show the composure to get it on target.
Yeah, and I think Timothy just hesitated. The touch with that header probably just needed to go first time, and Callan's shown her quality to still be able in that tight angle to be able to find a shot on goal, and good hands by McKinnon.
Caitlin McGuinness finding Callahan. Callahan headed clear. Carlton running to try and win it back. And going down was Vance, and it's a red card for Carlton. Well, that is hard luck in a cup final. Again, it goes back to that kind of feet being off the ground thing maybe, but let's have another look here.
It didn't look as dangerous in live play, but you can see it now.
You can see the frustration with Caitlin McGuinness. Callahan takes it, tries to turn. Callahan trying to get away from Andrews. Rogan. Tony Lee Finnegan. Intercepted by Foy, and Foy sees that Vance is free. Trying to get two Vances. McGee, the ball is rolled through. It might come for Weir. Rogan is there as well. Here's Weir. Weir has Rogan behind her, pulls it back. Rogan! And that puts the cherry on top for Glentoran. You said she was a super sub who was capable of getting goals. She showed it there, and she has shown it in the cup final. Cliftonville 0, Glentoran 3. Glentoran will win the double, and they will make it 5 in a row.
Oh, couldn't be any more happier for Rachel Rogan, and especially for Kim Turner when you make the substitute. But we know her quality. She's scored goals every single season for Glentoran, and what a fitting way just to come on the pitch and for a cup final and get yourself a goal. But we talked about it before from Weir. Last time she took the shot, this time she pulls it back, and what a tidy finish from Rachel Rogan.
Glentoran lifting it again. She'll share this moment with the team, and what a moment it is. Glentoran, the cup champions.
Yeah, you can see what it means to them. Every year, when you're able to finish the year on a high of winning the Electric Ireland Challenge Cup, it just finishes the year nice, and to have won it 11 times and also 5 in a row makes everything a little bit sweeter for Glentoran.
I can't really put into words how we're all feeling right now. I think we felt we maybe didn't give the best performance in the first half, but we were more than capable to come out and you know, win it in the second half. And you know, the girls were outstanding tonight. You know, we really dug deep and we really kept pushing, and we went the whole way to 90 minutes. And to come out 3-0 victory was just outstanding.
You mentioned there it was a very tight first half. What changed in the second that you guys came out on top?
I think we always had the belief that we could go on and win it. We probably felt like we weren't playing the football that we could in the first half, and it was maybe a wee bit sloppy on our own behalf. But you know, once we settled into the game and we got the ball down and we started playing it a wee bit, we created loads of opportunities in the second half, and you know, thankfully we were able to capitalise on them.
And now that's the equal 5th in a row. Is that the icing on the cake tonight?
It is, absolutely. You know, we had a goal at the start of the season to retain the Irish Cup, and our minds were fully focused on it, and you know, it just makes it even sweeter that it was 5 in a row.
And what about those fans tonight?
outstanding. You know, from the start we heard them, you know, they got behind us, and to be honest, they gave us that extra wee percentage in the second half to really drive on, and, you know, kept wanting us to go for more, and that's what we were able to do.
And league champions, and now more silverware tonight. Can't ask for much more as captain.
No, you definitely can't. It's been a fantastic squad to be a part of. We knew it was within this squad to go out and win the double, and we knew it had to depend on us whether or not we would go out and do it, and thankfully we've got to the end of the season now with two big trophies.
And how are you going to build on it for next year?
I think we'll enjoy this one. We'll celebrate this one first, and then, you know, maybe take a wee bit of time off, and then come back, reflect on this season. And like I said, this club always wants to get more, so we'll build and look to go further.
Welcome back to this match day 3 in the Nations League. Northern Ireland making the trip to take on Hungary in Győr. They find themselves 1-0 behind after an 18-minute fortunate cross that ended up in the back of the Northern Ireland net. It came from Zabo, but credit to Hungary, they dominated the first half in terms of opportunities. Northern Ireland in the latter stages started to find their rhythm a little bit, but they do trail 1-0 at the break. And the other game in the group, the Republic of Ireland are 2-1 ahead against Albania. Katie McCabe scoring an early goal in a sold-out Tallaght Stadium. Albania equalised soon afterwards, but again, Katie McCabe has managed to grab a second, and the Republic of Ireland lead 2-1 in that encounter. So they top the group on 6 points going into tonight's fixtures. Northern Ireland in second, then it's a point apiece for Albania and Hungary. I don't think there have been any changes at the break that we can see in the early stages of the half.
No, it doesn't look like there's any obvious changes. Same group.
Some defending to do. Vance did very well pushing up, and perhaps that's something we will see from Northern Ireland as this game progresses. You can just see the two lineups at the bottom of your screen. Mentions some of the experience in the Hungarian side. Socks over 100 international caps. Then you look at some of the midfielders. Feni Vessi on 91. Zabo has over 90. Cesar 111 now, and Zeller edging towards 80. And I think this is Northern Ireland's first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And you mentioned the wind. It maybe does appear as if it's behind Northern Ireland in this half, certainly judging by that corner flag. So can they make the most of this set piece? Vance is going to come across to take it. There are a couple of the main targets in the middle. There's the movement just over the head of Caldwell, who slightly mistimed her run. Couldn't get there. Northern Ireland appealing for another corner kick, but a set piece is certainly an avenue they will look to exploit, Ashley.
Yeah, especially when you have the likes of Sarah McFadden and Rachel Furness. I know Rachel Furness scored a great goal for Bristol City at the weekend there against Arsenal, so you know that's her kind of qualities. You know, she rises like a salmon, as you would say, and gets up and attacks the ball.
Northern Ireland's record goal scorer, of course, Rachel Furness. Playing now with Bristol City. Hungary are being maybe a little bit slower in their play, a little bit more patient in the early stages of the second half. Certainly controlled the tempo in the first. The real problem from Northern Ireland's point of view was trying to get on the ball in the final third. Plenty of time to go though. Positive result here would provide a real platform for the group. There's the overlap on the far side. Vida hasn't pushed up from the back on too many occasions. Spreads it across to the goal scorer Zabo. Kaijan cuts back, and Caldwell does well to win the challenge. Everybody inside the Northern Ireland half except the Hungarian goalkeeper.
You expect that from Nadine Caldwell. She's always working hard, always getting that wee toe in to win the ball.
As you mentioned earlier, one of the real unsung heroes of this Northern Ireland setup. You can hear the apology from Sarah McFadden. Just overhit the pass a little bit. Apologies about 10 times there for the pass. You can hear.
It's just
very softly spoken.
She is. Yeah, it's just one of those nice girls that just. Yeah.
Zabo to Kaja. Good turn from her, and it's Maxwell just nipping at her heels. McKenna can't do too much for that. Rebecca McKenna now at Charlton, originally came through at Linfield. I'm sure a player you know her very well.
Yeah, McKenna just keeps getting better and better. She's now at Charlton, like you say, and she's loving football, professional life. She's worked hard for it too, you know, from a young age. She's one of those kids that's always in the gym, very dedicated.
Not the tallest player, but certainly taggerish, and certainly will give her fill to any winger at all.
Yeah, like she's just 1v1 in that defensive role. She always comes out winning the ball. Apart from probably that cross, but you could see her like kicking at the girl's heels the whole way along. But it's just unfortunate that she was able to get the ball in. But you know, she's an exceptional player.
What's the attitude of games has gone to England?
I think you can see even from her strength in her legs, the build. She's got stronger, and going forward, you know, she's starting to understand that fullback role, the modern day kind of fullback where they join in and attacking. And you can see her going forward. But yeah, she's just a steady ship at the back. She kind of plays like she's been there for maybe 50 odd caps.
The ball just stopped in the pitch just as McKenna and Furness tried to get onto it, and it was pickpocketed by Kai Jan, who moves forward at pace. This is a really good attack. It opened up completely for Popeye. Miscued her effort, but that was another glorious opportunity. The director actually missed it initially. You can see Popeye, who was very, very tight. You can see Demi Vance looking across her. Certainly looked as if she was level at best in that situation. Miscued her effort though, and it drifts wide.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle. Obviously without VAR, we're in that angle, you can't see whether or not it was offside. It looked offside from our angle.
Another Hungarian attack, good strength from McFadden. Just cleans things up. Two sides, of course, facing one another again, and Tuesday night McKenna shipped a heavy challenge. It was Kaijan.
Yeah, I'd expect to see a card, but
and a yellow card, the second of the game. Rebecca McKenna doesn't tend to go down like that too often.
yeah, and you just hear Sarah McFadden encouraging there.
Not the best first touch, but recovered really well, and
She's got a bit of a Jack Grealish kind of thing going on with the socks at the minute.
the tiny shin pads. It's certainly the fashion right now. I actually thought she was coming off in the game against Albania because she had a tracksuit top on, and I thought she wasn't wearing any shin pads at all. And then she took the tracksuit top off about 3 seconds before the second half kicked off, and all of the build-up that I given just came to nothing. So I'm gonna have to have a word with her about that.
Yeah, it's obviously the style, isn't it? Wouldn't have happened back in our day, Thomas.
I don't think that would have cut the mustard. I don't think Sarah McFadden's wearing shin pads that small anyway.
Oh, hers are up their knees, aren't they?
It's been a cagey enough start to the second half.
It's good to see Caitlin McGuinness putting pressure on the centre half. She just needs a little bit more support from behind.
And probably didn't even really get a chance to do that in the first half because in many ways the ball wasn't that area of the pitch. She was having to come so deep to try and get involved and play like Lauren Wade did right there. Something that I'm sure Tanya Oxby will look to see from Lauren Wade as well.
Yeah, you could say Caitlin was feeding off scraps. It's not Caitlin's game really to come in deep. You want to see her use her pace beyond. And normally she's terrorising defenders and getting that wee nick that allows her to get through.
And you can see that pressure starting to have a little bit of an impact.
Yeah, I think it's important for Northern Ireland that we do put pressure on their defence. It's too comfortable for Hungary in the first half. And it'll be interesting to see what changes tactically Tanya's put into the second half.
She doesn't strike you as a manager who would panic, but how important is it to get the right messages across during that half-time break and making sure that, particularly when things haven't gone your way, that you manage to change things around with the same personnel?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just bringing that composure, making players relax. I think they looked a bit nervy in the first 5-10 minutes, and I think she needs to just make sure that the players, especially the young players that are in the team, you know, they want to make sure that they go into the second half relaxed. And you know what, Northern Ireland are still in this game. It's only 1-0. If we can take a chance, you know, there's no reason why we can't come away with a result tonight.
Some defending to do now though. Zeller, they look so bright every single time she's been in the ball. Fenny Vesey, decent bit of footwork, threaded through. Zeller tries to fire it across the 6-yard box, and it was the outstretched foot of Turner that guided it behind.
Yeah, it looks like big claims from Northern Ireland, the game for offside.
Very tight, very tight. Flag stays down, and you can see it's Sarah McFadden with the arm up, and she looked to be glancing across the line. To her credit, she looked to know where she was, so she's now getting involved with Nemeth, her fellow centre half. Taken short. Furness gets there first.
Yeah, it was important that Northern Ireland stayed alive there for that set piece. That's obviously something that Hungary have worked on. I think Jolie Andrews was the first one to close that down, so it was good that they were on their toes, ready to go.
Mentioned the personnel. Is this even more so than the games last month? Like the reflection of a different type of Northern Ireland side when you look at some of the qualities maybe that this starting 11 have compared to other ones. Just hold that thought for a moment, actually, because it's Wade who plays it forward looking for Caitlin McGuinness. Look at Danielle Maxwell making ground up. It's back to Furness. She might have a go from distance, struck it well, but just over the top. Closest Northern Ireland have come to a goal in a really promising attack.
Yeah, it's good to see them get forward. Caitlin McGuinness did really well there. She's taken pose, found Rachel Furness, and the space just opened up there for Rachel. And we all know what Rachel can do with that left foot. Just unfortunately, just didn't get it on target.
But just in terms of the team, and it's a different looking team.
Yeah, I think obviously Tanya's exploring the players. She's still trying to know what players' strengths are. But yeah, obviously up top, you know, you've got Caitlin McGuinness and Jodie Andrews and Danielle Maxwell that have all been given opportunities again. It's important that those young ones continue to take those opportunities and use this experience and build on the experience. But they still have the strength in the spine of the team with the likes of Nadine and Rachel Furness and Sarah McFadden. But I think it's important that they blend those young players into the game.
Is that the balance, I suppose? Do you look at all the players who played in the Euros, for example, those integral parts of the squad, and we've mentioned some of the caps and the experience that they have, but there will be a desire, if you will, to try and find that new generation of a player and maybe give chances and look at some of the younger players who could be around for the next decade or so. But how difficult is it at international level to try and have a transition like that and to get the balance right between those two things as the effort comes in on goal?
Yeah, like, you know, you don't get, well, obviously now they get more games internationally, so it does allow you to explore a little bit more, but, you know, it is a difficult thing for a manager to get that right and trying to get that balance right with the senior players and bleeding in the youth. Obviously, Tanya's took a risk tonight, probably more so up in that forward line, but, you know, it's good to have experience alongside youth, and, you know, it's important that Northern Ireland build on the legacy of the Euros and, you know, get more young girls involved in the game. And, you know, these ones are the next stalwarts. You know, we need to bleed and make sure that they're part of the next 10 years and make sure that we look after them and we find those opportunities, whether it be in England or in Europe. You know, it's important that those players maybe look and seek out for full-time football.
Are you confident the players are there?
Do you know what? I think there is definitely the development coming through in the young and the youth, but right now, you know, to see an Northern Ireland team without the likes of Demi Vance, Sarah McFadden and Rachel Furness and Simone McGill and Marissa Callaghan who obviously aren't playing tonight, but you know, it would be a wee bit worrying. I think it's important that they hold on to those senior players and, you know, we allow those younger ones those opportunities just to sort of slowly progress international football. You can get found out quite a lot in international football. There's no hiding places.
What do you think the key is moving forward in that respect, in terms of the development? Obviously, you see the likes of the under-19s are having more success, and there seems to be more of a pathway. Do you feel that it's important to fast track maybe the 3 or 4 outstanding players, or do you feel that there's a more overarching approach, if you will, to bring a team together and a cohort of players up from underage and give them that chance at international level? Or can you, when you've got competitive games as opposed to maybe 3 or 4 friendlies a year where you could take that risk?
I think probably at the minute we are probably fast tracking a few of the players. I would like to see potentially an under-23 team, you know, for that gap from under-19 level once you finish football, you know, the potential moving into senior football, it's massive. You know, you see the likes of England, under-23 teams, and Scotland have under-23 teams. You know, it's important that we continue to develop those players that are maybe just not ready for senior international football, but, you know, could be within the next couple of years. You don't want them to lose sight of playing international football, but, you know, that's the kind of development that you kind of want to see. You know, you look at some of the players even tonight, they would be playing an under-23 team, so, you know, it's maybe something that the Irish Football Association need to look at.
Danielle Maxwell is one of those players. Certainly would fall into that age bracket. Julie Andrews, another one. Sarah McFadden got her toe to it first. And again, that area of the pitch is causing havoc with this game. The ball just sticking in the surface more than anything else, and it's Rebecca McKenna who's penalised in that situation. Just having a discussion with the referee. I think that was Simone McGill I noticed in the background. Looks like she's going to come on, the experienced striker now at Aston Villa. A little bit of surprise that she wasn't in the lineup. She's pretty much been first choice for the last decade and a bit. But it appears she's going to have the last half hour of this one. Can she prove to be the difference? Northern Ireland find themselves 1 goal down after an hour. The goal came in the early stages of the first half. It was a cross from Szabo. Hungary have looked pretty dangerous from set pieces, not from that one though. And it could provide Northern Ireland with the opportunity to make that change. Do you think it'll be like for like?
I would say so. Although the likes of Caitlin would come off, Simone will go up top, might help just hold that ball up a wee bit more. That's obviously Simone's strength. Caitlin likes to run in behind. I think Northern Ireland just need to get the grip of the ball and hold the ball in and take those extra couple of seconds to allow the midfielders and the defence to get up the pitch.
Holloway's challenge is a fair one according to the referee, and that's a decent ball to find Maxwell. She has a little glance behind her just to see what the options were. No way past Namath though, and it's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it looks like Megan Bell's also going to get the opportunity.
So fresh legs after an hour. McGuinness replaced by Simone McGill. Megan Bell also about to come on. 2 players who started that victory against Albania last month. Mentioned Simone McGill bouncing back from that serious knee problem sustained at the Euros. I don't think we've had confirmation yet. It's Julie Andrews who's replaced by Megan Bell. Can those 2 players make an impact? Shannon Turner thought about coming, decided against it at the end, and it's picked up by Kaijan. Furness does well. First opportunity for Bell. She loses out in effort from outside the box. Ricochets off the woodwork. It looked as if Turner had it covered initially, but the ball rebounding off the crossbar and then the header going wide. I think that's the second occasion that home side have been denied by the woodwork. It was a good effort. It was a challenge on Bell. Her first touch. Fenny Vesey struck a goal. Whereas did Turner get a touch to it?
Yeah, she did actually in the end. I do think we should have got a free kick there at the edge of the box on Megan Bell.
Yes, I don't think Tanya Oxby would have been too pleased had that resulted in a goal given the challenge on Bell, but Northern Ireland living very dangerously once more.
It's interesting to see the ball holding up, even in that last one where Shannon Turner looked like she was going to come out, but then the ball just held up, that she actually retreated back into the goal. So obviously the pitch is definitely playing its part tonight.
Szabo on the left-hand side. Challenge comes up from McFadden, and it is going to be a free kick in a good position. Referee well placed once more. There's Margaret Kratz, the Hungarian manager. Little nibble at the nibble from McFadden. Kaijan.
She used her experience there. There wasn't much contact, but they definitely hurt her.
2 in the wall. Zeller standing over it. Everybody back for the visitors. It's all about the quality of the delivery. So congested in the box. And that's going to drift over the top. Probably the wrong option from Zeller, but felt that she could outwit Turner. Cap number 5 for Shannon Turner, the Wolves goalkeeper. Obviously, no Jackie Burns, still recovering from injury herself. The Reading goalkeeper has been pretty much an automatic first choice for the last 4 or 5 years for Northern Ireland, and there's more pressure coming. And again, it's just wide. Popeye this time. And Hungary have had chance after chance. It could have been 4 or 5 at this stage when you take into account some of the opportunities they've had in the 2 efforts up the woodwork.
Yeah, it's very similar to that one where it hit off the post in the first half. They're obviously getting more space again down our right-hand side. Northern Ireland started strong with the corners, but they've kind of drifted back into that first half kind of mentality.
Just given how deep they're playing, Vance unable to get there, but it is a little bit more positive. And with what, 25 minutes to go, the visitors need something to happen. Change for the home side now. Their first substitution of the game. Is it going to be an enforced one? It's a captain who's down at the moment. Cesar missed one of the 2 games earlier in the campaign. Inter Milan player. And I think it's going to be Pushtai. He's certainly getting ready. A little bit of dialogue between goalkeeping coach Roy Carroll with all of his international experience and Shannon Turner.
Yeah, it's great to see, you know, someone like Roy Carroll coming into the women's game, his experience. You know, it's important that...
In such a key position as well.
Yeah, like goalkeepers, one of the specialty roles, and I'm sure Jackie can't wait to get back to, you know, be mentored by him. There's no better person, you know.
Well, he was very quick whenever we were down doing the Republic of Ireland game, and Jackie was working as a co-commentator. Roy was straight over, having a quick chat with her, asking about how she was doing in her comeback.
Yeah, like it's such a role model, you know, the likes of Aaron Hughes and Johnny Evans. That's like, for myself, from a defender, you know, those are the kind of people you look up to, and you know, there's no better person to get that experience from.
Aaron Hughes playing a key role as well in the women's game, an overarching role in terms of development within the IFA. Having a big influence in underage teams too, in both boys and girls, and also obviously involved with Michael O'Neill at senior level as well. All of his international experience and all of his club experience too. A player who started at Newcastle and had spells at the likes of Fulham and Aston Villa, Hearts as well. All that experience, it's hope will be passed on to the next generation as a change is made. It's one of the front players. It's Kai Jan.
It's great to see the Irish FA aren't losing that quality. You know, the likes of Aaron Hughes, you know, he's been there, he's done that. He can speak to the young players going through, and it's important that you don't lose the quality players out of the game.
So well thought of, so well respected within the game. Was over at the Euros in Southampton, and it certainly takes in as many matches as he can. You see him plenty of grounds, and I'm not sure if he's in Hungary or watching at home, but no doubt he will be at Seaview on Tuesday as well. Here is Lauren Wade. Wade again. May well have been a shot from Lauren Wade. A little bit more purpose from her as it's bled in towards Mo McGill. Decent first touch, and it's good strength from the centre half just to guide it back into the hands of the goalkeeper. But that's what Simone McGill gives you in there. That real quality, that fox in the box, if you like.
Yeah, Simone's obviously getting game time in Aston Villa as well. You know, she's one of the key players for us. She kind of makes us tick. And, you know, like you say, fox in the box. She's always there, always on, ready to pounce on something. She's great at holding the ball in and allowing the players to get forward.
It's been a tough road back for her after that injury at the Euros as well.
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's a tough sort of 9 months to a year, but, you know, you always come out stronger mentally.
You've experienced it yourself. It's from a rehab point of view, it can get lonely, it can get very tedious, and You just want to get back in the pitch?
Yeah, like it definitely does test you mentally and physically. So many players, I think probably that's what helped a lot of us come through it, was that there was so many international players within Northern Ireland that had done it within the last sort of year or two, that, you know, everybody encouraged everyone, and, you know, it's just great to see Simone back on the pitch.
It's a lovely turn. Spreads towards this near side, and McKenna. You see just a little bit more urgency when McGill gets in the ball. Pass was a little bit telegraphed, and it's given it straight back to the opposition. And Zeller just points to where she wants the right back Vida to come into. In the last 20 minutes here. Brilliant stop from Shannon Turner, denying Hungary a second. They've certainly had chances to add to that 1 goal advantage so far.
That's great hold-up play from Danielle Maxwell there.
Forward comes McFadden. Now it's McGill. Maxwell might have a go. Really good block, though, from the defender. Got in the way of that one.
Yeah, you can start to see Danielle Maxwell starting to show her strengths, looking to take players on. There's a great combination play there from her into Simone.
So much better. The Republic of Ireland leading 2-1 at half-time against Albania in the other game within the group. That would put the Republic of Ireland on to 9 points from 3 games. As things stand, Northern Ireland would be on 3 and Hungary would be on 4. Three games left in the group. This is the halfway point, if you like. Caldwell still battling, wins a free kick. A point here would be a huge result if Northern Ireland can find a goal. Give them that little cushion ahead of Tuesday night.
Yeah, I feel like if we can get a goal back, that'll give us confidence for Tuesday night. You know, we get them on to Seaview and our home pitch, and hopefully the fans come out and support the team. You know, I think it's vital that we do try and get this goal in this game.
More players being committed forward. Zabo. You can see how high up Sarah McFadden is right now. McKenna back to the goalkeeper. Are you confident that an equaliser can be found? It's certainly starting to look a bit more fluid, a bit more purposeful from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you can definitely see it coming. Obviously, you know, we'd like to see Lauren Wade maybe get on that ball and use that pace. But yeah, like it only takes one chance in international football, whether it's set play or from open play. You know, I do think that Northern Ireland have it in them to get a goal back.
Just over a quarter of an hour remaining here. How different a game do you feel it's going to be at Seaview? Given the artificial surface, and also given how much more compact it is.
Yeah, like obviously the pitch has played a big factor tonight. I feel like Northern Ireland on the 4G, 3G will, you know, be more composed on the ball, and you can see that it's bobbling, and it just doesn't suit our style of play. Even the likes of Lauren Wade trying to run with the ball, it's getting stuck in the muck. But you know, it's not going to happen at Seaview, and it gives us the opportunity at Seaview to really get at Hungary.
What did you like about playing there, and why do you feel it's such a good fit?
Obviously, you talked about the compactness. You know, we got great results against big nations, and I think that was one of the key factors for us. It was a quite tight, compact pitch, and it allowed us to have that shape. But you know, I have no reason why it was a fortress, but you know, it just suited our style of play, and we always managed to get results at it.
And supporters right on top of you too. It's maybe not what some international sides are used to when you look at these kind of vast stadiums here that they might play in more often.
Yeah, and like, you know, the supporters play a key factor in the game. You know, they're like the 12th man, as you call it. It's important that they come out on Tuesday night and get behind the girls, and you know, hopefully the girls will give them a good show.
I see that Tanya Osby was suggesting that they perhaps should come in fancy dress. It is Halloween night, of course.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, what are you dressing up as?
Look, I have to remain professional. I have to stay professional at all times. So I think for the benefit of everyone who's potentially watching, I'm just going to stick with my normal kind of jeans, trainers, and a coat over the top of it. But feel free. What have you got lined up?
Oh, I don't know. I dressed up last weekend as a Dalmatian, so I don't know what I would pick this weekend for the game. But yeah, it'd be great to see some of the young kids.
Here's a couple of changes coming up for the home side. Off comes the experienced Fenny Vesey. Sule will come on in her place, pretty much a like for like situation there. Will operate in and around midfield, and the other change sees Popeye replaced by Zygort. Into the final 15 minutes of this game. There's just a reminder, 6:45 for that game on Tuesday night. Northern Ireland facing Hungary in the return fixture at Seaview. So many famous results down through the years there at that ground under Kenny Shields. Can Northern Ireland pull off another one, having won their only home fixture in the Nations League so far, this New Look tournament? It does have an implication as well for qualifying for Euro 2025 as well. The ball just has too much on it, and it's perhaps been the story of this game so far. Playing surface undoubtedly has had a big impact in this game, but Hungary have been able to adapt a little bit better. What will Tanya Oxtoby be thinking? Will she consider another couple of changes? She does have firepower on the bench. Brought on both McGill and Megan Bell so far. 3 games to come in this competition before Christmas. The group effectively concluded before then, and then potential playoffs after that. It's another decent bit of build-up play, and Vance is momentarily looked as if she was going to lose it, but recovered very well.
Yeah, it was great recovery play by Rebecca McKenna. She swept up in behind there.
Cara Hamilton. I think Nadine Caldwell thought that she was coming off. Instead it's Danielle Maxwell. You know what Cara Hamilton's going to bring, plenty of pace and power on that right-hand side.
Yeah, it's great to see. Hopefully Cara settles into the game quickly. She's got about 12 minutes to try and make an impact. Hopefully, obviously with Lewis playing over there with a professional environment, she can bring that into her international game.
And has been playing with them as a wing back at times. Looks to be moving a little bit further up the pitch. Now there is a Hungarian player down after a lovely turn. It's played out for the throw in, and it's an opportunity for Zeller to receive a little bit of attention. Just over 10 to go. What do you want to see from Northern Ireland?
I'd like to see them, with Cara on, I'd like to see them go forward in the last 10 minutes and really put it at them. You know, you can see Rachel Furness there working tirelessly there, putting in 3 challenges in a row, and you see Tanya encouraging them. You know, I think we can really go for it in the last 10 minutes. It's important that we obviously stay strong at the back.
What vulnerabilities or what weaknesses do you see within this Hungarian side?
I think probably we didn't look out wide in the first half, like Lauren Wade, and obviously now we've got Cara on the pitch. We have to use our strengths. I think we played very narrow in the first half, and it was quite congested in the middle. But you know, I think if we can get the ball wide and get a good delivery into the box and get players into the box, then there's no reason why we can't get an opportunity.
McKenna. Back to McFadden after that momentary break in play. Hungary back up their full quarter. Here's Wade. Nice build-up play on the left-hand side. Decent run in by McGill. Didn't quite find her. Another opportunity. Lifted in. Big chance, and there is the equaliser. It's a substitute. Cara Hamilton, I think it could well have been her first touch of the game. It's really the only clear-cut opportunity that Northern Ireland have been able to create. And Cara Hamilton, with time ticking down, has leveled things up.
Oh, it's a great time to score, isn't it? We talked about it there, just getting the ball wide, getting the ball into the box, and, you know, that's a great header from Cara.
It's a really good delivery too. The first from Vance didn't make its way to the intended target, but the visitors persevered. I think it was Wade, and well, Cara Hamilton does everything right, nodding it down and scoring her 6th international goal. And it completely changes the complexion of this game.
I think you could call her a super sub, couldn't you? Tanya will be taking credit for that substitution.
When it works, it works. And on that occasion, I don't think she touched the ball beforehand. Could well be wrong, but it is one apiece. And game very much on.
I think it's important, you know, that you have a strong squad.
Oh, the lead didn't last long. It's a stunner from Sulik. A long distance effort puts Hungary back in the lead. After all the positivity on the Northern Ireland bench following Hamilton's leveller, Sulik struck one from 35 yards out, nestled into the top corner, and that is a hammer blow. Ashley having worked so hard to get back into the game. How frustrating is that?
Oh, it's gotten, to be honest. You know, I thought that was us. We were back into the game. 1-1. Would have probably took a draw away from home, given that Hungary have had the chances. It's just disappointing that we've conceded so quickly. I think that was within 1 minute of us scoring a goal down the other end.
It is a stunning goal, it has to be said, but that will be a hammer blow for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and it was, you could see Rachel Furness putting pressure on it too, but it's like you say, it's one of those goals that it's hard to stop, and it's just disappointing from a Northern Ireland perspective.
Still time though. Northern Ireland have fought back once before. Can they do so again? I think it was Sarah McFadden took a tumble after Pushtai made contact with her. Just over 6 minutes to go. Nice link-up play, but it's squeezed out to Wade on the left. Her cross provided the assist for Cara Hamilton's goal, and you can see the urgency now from Simone McGill. The ball's in the right area of the pitch. Northern Ireland need a goal.
I think Demi Vance has really stepped it up in the second half. You see her just wanting to get on the ball, just that confidence to take the ball on, and obviously it was part of the build-up. You know, the first cross that went in, she's really stepped it up.
She's going to have an opportunity from this corner kick. You can see the determination in Sarah McFadden's face. Socks has been beaten once already. It's going to be left for Megan Bell. Played in by Vance. Everybody stayed up. Lovely link-up play between Holloway and Vance once more. Can't find this intended target though. Keeping the pressure on though. Vance has Bell inside her. Cut it again by the defender. Kovac this time. Northern Ireland have to take a chance now. Hamilton, who thought she'd snatched a point. Little flick from Vance doesn't work out. It's Soule who scored that screamer moments after. Zeller's come deep to pick it up. You can see Megan Bell nipping at her heels, and the ball is back with the visitors. You can hear McGill screaming for it, trying to just sit on the shoulder of the last defender. Hamilton comes across, doesn't quite get there. Furness does and wins a free kick in the process.
You can see Rachel used her experience well. She knew the tackle was coming, made sure she went down to ground to get that free kick.
Vance is going to steal a couple of yards. Still just a few too many there. It was a little bit too noticeable.
Yeah, you could say she's a bit of a chancer there. It's important we get a good delivery here.
Pumped in. McFadden's underneath it. Takes a tumble, penalty. Sarah McFadden making a nuisance of herself in the opposition box, and having come from behind once, Northern Ireland are going to have an opportunity to do the same from the penalty spot. The referee had no hesitation. Played in by Vance. Is it the captain who has a little nibble?
There's definitely contact there.
All the experience of Cesar, and no supporters look on. Megan Bell, will she be given the responsibility? A massive moment in this Nations League campaign. It's going to be Simone McGill. Almost 2 years since her last international goal. Cara Hamilton, the substitute, scored. Can another one pop up with an equaliser? McGill against Sox, the imposing figure in the Hungarian goal. But McGill makes no mistake, and it's level again. Twice Northern Ireland have fought back from behind. Could that be the goal that grabs a vital point? Simone McGill back amongst the goals at international level, cool and calm from the spot.
Yeah, it was a great penalty. She had a long time to wait. The referee was trying to get the players to stay outside the box. She stayed composed, used her experience.
Goalkeeper guessed right also. She receives a yellow card, presumably for something that's been said. Doesn't look very happy, and you can understand why.
You could just see when Simone scored that goal, Sarah McFadden was trying to slow the game down. We don't want to concede again. It's important that we keep the shape.
Yeah, crucial time coming up for the visitors who've been up against it for much of this game. Hungary have had plenty of opportunities to win it. McFadden gets there, having won the penalty kick. The experienced defender. 4 minutes of additional time. When Northern Ireland qualified for the Euros, the key result was a 2-2 away draw against Wales. The person alongside me popped up with what was a vital equaliser that night. But in terms of the group, it would keep Northern Ireland in second and ensure that Hungary had just 2 points after 3 games. It would give that little bit of space for Northern Ireland going into Tuesday's game at Seaview. A better touch there from Bell. Hamilton could have been on her way. More defending to do though. Everybody's forward in red. Caldwell has given everything. McGill is advancing the outside. Runners up ahead and Hamilton. Could it be a smash and grab from Northern Ireland? Hamilton keeps it in play, or she thought she'd kept it in play. But there are gaps starting to emerge.
Yeah, it shows Tuesday night, you know, anything can happen. I feel like 2-2 at the minute is a fair result, given that Hungary had the strongest of the first halves.
Ellie Mason for Rachel Furness, so I think Tanya Oxtoby is certainly suggesting she'd take a point right now.
Yeah, Rachel Furness has worked hard in there, probably not what she's used to. She's normally further up the pitch, but you know, she's worked hard in there beside Nadine Caldwell, put herself about, made sure she was there for tackles. But yeah, it was a good shift.
Ellie Mason will just sit in a 3, presumably at the back. Northern Ireland had to go for it, and that bravery has paid off.
It's great to see the strength and depth in the squad. You know, obviously the 2 subs that have come on, but you know, Danielle Maxwell and Caitlin McGuinness both put in a great shift. And you know, yes, the 2 subs that have come on have got the rewards, but it's a team game. I think that described them now as starters and finishers. And you know, every player plays a key part.
McGill can't quite get there. There is that theory that you're better finishing with your best side rather than starting with it, certainly in other sports. But I wonder, did Tanya Oxtoby perhaps have one eye on Tuesday night, thinking that Cara Hamilton and Simone McGill could play a big part there, and rather than play 2 matches back to back, they were instead given half an hour off the bench. But Northern Ireland haven't got the job done yet. We've played 3 of the allotted 4 minutes of injury time. Everybody's back for Northern Ireland. Everybody's forward for Hungary. This is going to be the last opportunity, you would expect. Lifted in. Who will get their head on? Goalkeeper doesn't get there, and it's a winner from Hungary. Twice Northern Ireland have pegged the home side back, but surely that is it. It's Nemeth, the defender. I think who got the last touch. It was a hopeful ball forward by Cesar, and Hannah Nemeth, the Werder Bremen defender, who was just on the edge of the Northern Ireland line. That was very, very tight. The faintest of touches, an outstretched leg, took it away from the goalkeeper, and it is heartbreak.
Yeah, I think if VAR was part of the game, you know, I do think she was just slightly offside. You know, you look at the men's game, it only takes the arm or the hand to be over that line, and I think she might have been, although still Northern Ireland should have followed in and made sure they were close to her.
We don't have control over the pictures, but in the snapshot we did see it, it did look extremely tight, and as you say, it could well have been offside. But Hungary have the victory. They fought all the way. It was an injury time goal that proved to be the difference. Heartbreak for Northern Ireland after 2 equalisers. The first from Hamilton, the second from Simone McGill.
I think Northern Ireland will feel hard done by in that game. You know, kind of thought we had it there, 2-2. The girls worked their absolute socks off, but you those last, you have to maintain your concentration to the very end, and that's what's cost us the result tonight.
A crazy last 10 minutes in Geor. Megan Bell and her teammates stunned. The final score in this Nations League game, Hungary 3, Northern Ireland 2.